This video is directly to the Louisiana Creole lady who says she's not African American. I forget what your name is, but I hear everybody talking about you, and I did see your video. I was gonna mind my business, but since it's Louisiana, Cajun, and Creole, it's my business. I had the same hate when I got on this app, and I let everybody think what they wanted to think, but then when I started telling our history and I told people I'm not white, like what people think white is, people start losing their shit. So what I want to reiterate for people is that Louisiana, we know our history, we have archives, we know where we come from. The thing is that a lot of people in America don't know our true history, because our history was whitewashed by the English American caste system. And she's right when she talks about African American was made up by Jesse Jackson. Not all people that identify as black in America comes from the African transatlantic slave trade. They don't. That's a lie that's been told. We had black people here already. Black people were intermarrying. Interracial marriage was legal until the English came here. Cajuns are different than French settlers. The Huguenots that came to Louisiana, that they trying to make out as Cajun now, that they weren't Cajun. Huguenots were the French Protestants that settled here after the Louisiana Purchase. They're the ones who called us Coonasses. The Cajuns are the people that were refugees, that are a Cajun, descendants of a genocide in the 1700s in Canada. And then we came down here, put into forts, forced to work. Cajuns, African slaves, Haitian slaves. The transatlantic slave route didn't just bring Africans. They brought people from all over the islands, Puerto Rico, Cuba. I got family from Cuba. I got family from Mexico. We are mixed down here, so much so that we don't understand everybody else that keep following this outdated English colonial, racist, white supremacist caste system of white and black. Because if you've been in America since before its inception, since even before the 13 colonies, or if you immigrated to America, forced to come to America before the 1800s, I promise you you're mixed. I promise you you are mixed. And I understand the oppression very, very much so. I understand the oppression more than you would think because of the way I look. But my mother picked cotton until she was 13. My mother picked cotton until she was 13. 8 miles away from where her grandma, that she had to deny all her life because she was born in 1946 during the Jim Crow laws, was a Gilry from Opelousas. And so here's the thing. That Gilry family had to buy their own freedom from their own Gilry family, because it was one man, 2 wives, one was free, one was enslaved. It's a whole thing. I have all the paperwork. From the Louisiana Supreme Court to the Cuban Spanish Supreme Court that ruled over Louisiana at the time. So, American history that is taught in America is always the English version of events after the English got here. But there was a shit ton of history before the English got here. And that's why a lot of times, if you go back to try to look in church archives or church records, there was a huge fires all over America, the United States in the 1800s. Whole cities burned. Churches burned. You want to know why? Those particular cities with those large churches, they kept all the records. Baptisms, births, weddings. Too many people passing nowadays for that white supremacy instead of telling the truth so everybody could just be equal. Why can't we all be equal? Isn't that what it's supposed to be in America? Why are people so afraid for everyone to be equal? Does that mean that the money won't be distributed equally? Oh, that's what it is. Listen, y'all stop falling for all this hatred that people are teaching you, because all hatred leads to is genocides, world wars. The world is on fire because they want to uphold white supremacy. the entire world. And then they want to bring people that aren't from a land, put them on the land, and claim that's their land. It's happened over and over and over throughout history. It's called colonization. Just like the Huguenots are now claiming they're Cajun, the descendants of the French Protestants that came here, they're now claiming they're Cajun, when they're the ones that used to call us coonasses. Yeah, that's how it works when you don't know your real history. So instead of trying to watch somebody from Louisiana to tell them to tell us who we are, when y'all don't even know real history, I'm pretty sure most of y'all that's arguing with people from Louisiana don't even know your own town's history. But y'all want to argue with us about our history. There's another creator I want y'all to follow. Go follow him on Facebook because he's not too good on TikTok yet. His name is Alex Genealogy. He does Louisiana genealogy. I've been on this app fighting with y'all for years. White people don't like me. Black people don't like me because I don't play them games. That's why I never wanted to talk about race when I first got on this app, because I knew most of America, most of the world would not fucking understand. But maybe it's time for the truth to come out. You want to know why they had black cowboys? That they tried to hide them too? It's because when England purchased the Louisiana Purchase with 15 states, might I add, Louisiana wasn't just this little boot you see now. The English ran off anybody who was of color, that owned land, that had anything to own. White supremacy came in and took it. They even stole people of color and put them into slavery, even people that never came from slavery. I'm sure y'all heard the story, 12 Years a Slave. Well, he wasn't the only one that did that too. That's why they had so many black people that went west, because the west wasn't colonized yet by the English. They went west to live free. Another thing people don't know about Louisiana, Louisiana was part of the Underground Railroad South. Y'all always hear about the Underground Railroad North. Why would people from Mississippi and Louisiana go all the way to Canada when we had Mexico right there? Texas wasn't Texas, it was Mexico, Sha. And Mexico abolished slavery. And that's why a lot of Mexicans are having issue with Afro-Latinos with their racism. Listen, babe, humans have been mixing for millions of years. This caste system of white and black, that shit just started with colonial slavery about 500 years ago. It's made up. And humans keep following this made up shit. And this is why the world's on fire. We're all made in his image.